It's Sherry's Chronicles! I'm here today with a very special guest. My great friend Maria.
Hello.
She goes to Towson with me. She's great, and she's here today to talk about
Bisexuality. Alright, so let's start for some gay education for you guys. Let's start. So, heterosexuality, as most of you probably know, is liking somebody of your opposite gender, and homosexuality is liking somebody of your same gender. And so bisexuality is liking somebody of two or more genders, and so this is an umbrella term that a lot of different sexualities fall under. Sexuality is a spectrum, and bisexuality is a large term that can incorporate those identities. Pansexuality is somebody who identifies as pan, is attracted to people no matter what their gender is or sex is, and same thing with people who identify as queer. I think queer is another umbrella term that queer and bisexual are very similar in terms of their definitions. Asexuality is when somebody does not feel sexual attraction towards any gender, and then if somebody identifies as demisexual, that means that they can only feel sexually attracted to somebody that they are interested in romantically.
That was really good. I hope that made sense to y'all, because honestly that made sense to me. Because I feel like in this heteronormative society, there's just a lot of things people don't know about, or people are too comfortable in their ignorance. So when someone does say the words and sexuality, Maria was just saying, they're like, what? And they're not really open. Mm-hmm. So I hope that like this video can help you educate yourself more and other people, so you can be less ignorant and less homophobic and more accepting.
So like if you're exploring your sexuality, I think labels can be tough sometimes because a lot of labels have stigma, especially the label of bisexual. But if you can find safety and your own identity within a label, that can be really freeing and great. And so educating yourself on different types of sexualities can be really important in this self-discovery process. So
definitely, yeah, because I think there's also a lot of internalized homophobia. So I feel like people sometimes, even if they want to explore their sexuality, are like too caught up in the stigmas themselves. So like you always want to make sure, hopefully you're in a safe space to do that within yourself, and also like with your friends and your family, so you're not surrounded by like toxicity, because that's not cool.
Mm-hmm. So I think another part of sexuality to explore and educate yourself on is the difference between sexual attraction and romantic attraction. Yes. This is kind of new to me as well. I think romantic attraction is who you are interested in forming relationships with and dating, but sexual attraction is very much who are you sexually attracted to. And so you can be identifying as bisexual but be homoromantic or heteroromantic, and it's kind of just, there's a difference between who you're sexually attracted to and who you're romantically attracted to. So a lot of people who are asexual can be like heteroromantic or biromantic or homoromantic and still form romantic bonds with people of their same or different gender, but they won't be sexually attracted to somebody.
I think like a lot of times people think of sexuality as just like either gay or straight, like black or white, but it's not like that at all. Mm-hmm. It's so fluid. It's a spectrum. It's not just a straight line and you're there. Mm-hmm. It's a big spectrum. The difference between like romantic and sexual attraction is so important, because like the example of some asexual people, they may not be sexually active, but that doesn't mean that they're some outcast of society or weird. So can form bonds with people. They're not weird people. They're still sometimes forming bonds or in relationships or in marriages and stuff like that. So it's really important that we don't just label people and then say, you're in this box and it's the only box you can be in, and you can't do anything else. Like that's problematic. Mm-hmm. So I think that's important to understand. Fluidity is so important when it comes to sexuality. So these are some myths rather, to never say to bisexual people, because they aren't true and they're homophobic.
Something else too.
Okay.
Also, like, I think dispelling bisexuality myths are really important, because there's a lot of homophobia, but there's also a lot of biphobia within the LGBT community and outside of it. And so, like, we need our heterosexual and homosexual, like, allies to take notes, because it comes from all angles.
Get your notepads. Like, I'm serious. Yeah, no, seriously. You know, you're so right.
I think it's hard being bisexual because you do get a lot of hate from your LGBT allies, but you also get a lot of hate from the outside world. So it's like, or from the heteronormative world, and it's just really hard to exist when these stigmas are still very alive and well. And it's hard for people who are coming to terms with their sexuality to admit and feel free and just to create a safe space for people who exist within the spectrum, which is so many people. Yeah. These myths need to be dispelled.
Retweet, quote, favorite. Okay, so these are some myths to never say. Number 1, bisexuals are just going through a phase.
Yep.
What? They're not going through a phase. Sexuality isn't usually temporary like that. Like, by treating it as if it's temporary, by treating it like and patronizing it, that's not helping the situation.
It also invalidates their experiences and their sexuality, like, and it creates people to have this internalized biphobia and not believe themselves. If you say that their sexuality is just a phase or it's temporary and that it's not real, that can be really detrimental to somebody's health, because they can't change the way that they are, and it makes them feel like it's wrong or that they're lying, and that it can just be really harmful.
Yeah, no, literally. So don't say that shit. Second thing is, bisexuals are scared of commitment or they're cheaters.
Yep, this is a big one.
Not really sure how those correlate, but it's not true. Again, it doesn't mean that people that are bisexual are scared of commitment, because people who are bisexual can be in committed relationships.
But there's a huge double standard within the LGBT community. Let me lay it down on you guys. So, from personal experience and the general consensus of the bisexual community, this is really maybe the most frustrating for me. So when a woman comes out as bisexual, a lot of the comments or reactions women will get is, oh, you're just lying, or you're not really bisexual, you just haven't met the right man, or you haven't met the right dick. But when a guy comes out as bisexual, the overwhelming response is, oh, you're really just gay, and you are just not fully out of the closet, or you have to be gay like you like dick. And so the frustrating thing for me about this double standard is that for men, it's you have to be gay or straight, but then for women, it's you always have to be straight, and you're just lying, and that, like, if you just, it's invalidating women liking other women, and then for men coming out, it's invalidating that they can like both. So on both ends, it's wrong, but I think this double standard is rooted in the fact that because of the patriarchy, men are saying that men can only like men and women can only like men because everybody desires men, which is absolutely not the case. And
no, it's not. That is so true. And I feel like I want to just blast that on a loudspeaker, because people don't know this. People don't realize this. Literally, the patriarchy is the root of all evil. But anyway, so people don't realize that how detrimental and how deep these homophobic comments that you may say, like, you may have been like, oh crap, I've said that before watching this video, or oh my god, someone just said that to my friend the other day. It's common, but it's up to like the allies and even people within the community to stand up and say, that was homophobic, or that was biphobic, or that wasn't okay to say. Pull someone aside, correct them so they can learn, or just show them this video. So important, because love is love, as you know, and it doesn't matter who the person you love, because it's all the same and should be treated the same, and it's not. So that's partly why we're making this video. It's so super, super important to realize this.
So if you learned anything from this video, I hope that you were able to learn that there are stigmas surrounding people identifying underneath the bi umbrella, but I hope that you can create a safe space and also feel safe exploring your sexuality and exploring the different sexualities that exist under this spectrum and under gender and sexuality and romantic attraction as well. It's all totally valid and real, and you deserve to safely express your sexuality. I hope that we can continue to create safe spaces for everybody, including people who identify as LGBT.
Yes. So well said. Thank you so much, Maria, for being on my show.
I'm so honored.
I said show like we're on TV. Girls, this is YouTube. So if you want to follow Maria and more of her amazingness, her social media will be in the description box as well as mine. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And till next time, stay zen. Okay. This is the most focused I am. Like, I don't know if you ever watch my bloopers, but like, I'm just never, I'm like, look, a bird.